Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today because we believe that everybody needs a coach. The design of Action Coaching is to coach the God-given ability that is in you, out of you, so that you can live your best life now. And we're certainly excited each and every week to come to you with some coaching tips. Now, I certainly want to encourage you, encourage you that if things we don't cover on Action Coaching, then reach out to us on social media. And of course, there can be topics that we can talk on in the next Action Coaching. We don't have time to get in depth here. We just have to kind of give you the high points of whatever we're talking about. And hopefully those points will help you get started in whatever endeavor you desire to do. Today we want to talk about a changed mind. The Bible has an interesting scripture in Romans chapter 12 where it says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." Now, I want to talk on that particular word, renewing. Now, renewing means that you got to make your mind new again if you're going to do different things in your life or be successful at any endeavor. A lot of times people try to do something new with the same old mind they've always had, and it won't work that way. No matter what business you're getting in, whether sports or anything, there are a set of rules that go along with that particular endeavor. And if you don't want to go by the rules that go along with that particular endeavor, and you want to keep the same old mind that you had, then you're never going to be successful. All great and wonderful things start in the mind. A lot of people try to start it without first preparing their mind. The mind is a very powerful tool, and once an individual mind is changed, they can do some great and awesome things. So you got to make sure that you understand that you have to have a changed mind. I remember when I first started out with my dream, the vision God had given me. Now, of course, not a whole lot of people were believing in it. And some of the time, the way they talked about how I couldn't do it, I was just about to believe in it. And then a lot of times people didn't understand, what is this you're doing? And I couldn't explain it with the mind I had. I had to understand that, I was going to do this. I had to work on changing my mind. But I'm using changing my mind the same term as I'm saying, renew your mind. Life causes you to have to renew your mind. When you were a child, you could do certain things and you could handle as much as a child can handle with the mind you have at that particular time. But however, you can't grow up and be a teenager and go into high school and get into high school and want to act like you were when you were a child. You still waiting for somebody to bring you the bottle or change your diaper or do this and that, the things that you do for kids. You got to renew your mind and you got to think on a whole nother level, meaning that there are a lot of things you're going to have to do on yourself. There are a lot of things that you're going to have to put in practice because you're no longer a child, but now you are a teenager. And so it happens when you move from teenager to manhood and all of these different things, womanhood. When you move there, there's a different way of thinking. Now, what hinders a lot of people from achieving great things is they trying to do something great, something new, something on a higher level, but they trying to do it with an old way of thinking. Have you ever run into somebody and you're trying to teach them new and they say, I'm just stubborn by nature. I always been stubborn. When you're trying to say, well, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have to change being stubborn. Now, it might have worked for you some years ago, and it might even benefited you. But if you're going to do this in life, you're gonna have to renew your mind. Now notice the term renew is not saying you don't destroy your mind, you just renew it. Every year you have an automobile, then they'll send you a letter that's saying you gotta come in and get the new sticker to put on your tag. Now, in essence, they're saying is that every year you're gonna have to get a new sticker to put on your tag on the same car if you keep the same car. They are saying to you, now the old sticker worked last year, but it won't work this year. Because if you want to still drive around with the old sticker, then the chances are you're gonna be stopped by the law enforcement and given a ticket. And so thus the problem can be solved when you get the new sticker. The thing that's holding a lot of gifted and talented people back in life is they don't want to change their way of thinking. They don't want to have their mind renewed. You know, they'll use quotes like old dogs don't learn new tricks. Well, that's dependent upon the dog, you know, and they'll say things like, I've done it this way all of the time, and you haven't got many results. You want more, but you still want to do it the way that cause you not to have more. So you got to change your mind. You got to renew your mind. One thing I learned about when there's a coach in your life or a mentor in your life, they usually shake up all your old thoughts, the way you used to do it and you like to do it. When they come tell you something different, you think they just messing with you and you just making me do something I don't want to do. But if you want to go to a higher level, you got to have a changed mind. You got to renew your mind. That's the way I succeeded. When people didn't believe in my dream, didn't believe that I could accomplish it, didn't believe I had the talent to do. Now, when I thought like them, I believed that too. I believed that I didn't have the talent. I believed that I couldn't accomplish the dream. So I had to go change my mind. I had to get a whole renewed mind. I had to have a different way of thinking other than what my surroundings taught me. But when I got my mind renewed, I started saying things like, yes, I can do that. I believe that I can achieve these things. I am going to try. I am going to go for it. Didn't make no difference what they had to say. It was what I thought. How many times have you had a good thing going and you use that mind of yours to just talk you right out of it and mess it up? That's why I'm saying it's time. It's a principle. Your mind is given to you with so much ability because as you go through the course of life, you're going to have to change different things about how you approach it, how you do it, how you act, and all those things. And change is not necessarily a bad thing. Some people think that change is so bad. No, change is not necessarily a bad thing. Changing helps us to adapt to new situations and new things that we are going to encounter. and new places we're going to go. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you.
Got to be lions. We got to understand what the real purpose of the saints is and why you were born again. Just tap somebody and say, you here to take over. Whatever job you on, you there to take over. Whatever community you live in, you there to take over. Wherever you go, you there to take over.
I left off talking about how change is not a bad thing. Change helps us so that we can adapt to new things and new ways of doing things. And doing things in a new way and different is not a bad thing. What if I would have said when I was growing up, anytime that you were going to get some water outside of the home, well, they have what you call water fountains. You know, you can go up to the water fountain and either you can step on the pedal or turn a little knob on the side and some water will come out and you will quench your thirst. And that worked during that time. You know, thank God for the water fountains. But as time began to change, now you can go in the store, buy a 12-pack a bottle of water, 6-pack a bottle of water, or just one single bottle of water, and you can carry that water around with you, and whenever you need to quench your thirst, you can just simply screw the top off, drink the water, put the top back on, and that water can still travel with you. You might get thirsty again. Now, what if you had decided, I'm not gonna drink any water unless I can get it out the water fountain? I think you might have a problem of being thirsty in the wrong places. What I'm saying is, God gave us a mind not just to be fixed in one place, but to change, to grow, to thrive. Why is that necessary? Because when you change your mind, you give the mind the ability to take your body to places you have not been before. It's amazing what the power of the mind can do. It can command your body to say, yes, we will get up. We will work hard. We will strive for excellence. But the mind has to be changed in order to change the body. I want to share with you on today that it's time to open up your mind and allow for positive changes to come, for people to coach you with things that are necessary for you to reach the next level. And yes, unfortunately, you can feel your mind full of negative things and it will affect your body too. But however, when you change it in the right way and be open for new things, different ways that you can accomplish the same thing. Success is success, but everybody have a different path they have to go to get to their success. What drives me may not drive you. But however, if you find out what drives you, we both can arrive at the same destination. And that's why it is so powerful to have a changed mind, to understand that when you open your mind to be filled with a host of new things and new ways, you expand your potential in life. You're able to adapt, be creative, and do even more things than you ever done before. Now let me just encourage you. I'm talking about changing your mind and opening your mind, but I want to caution everybody to do this. Don't just overthink things. Some people overthink things so much they never move. but allow your mind to just think as you are moving. Think as you are exploring the process. Think as you're moving to a higher level, to maybe change your diet, change the places you go, change the people you hang out with. Not that they were bad people or they were bad places, but you're going to a new level, so you got to change your mind to adapt to the new places you're going to go, the new things that you're going to see, the new things you're destined to experience. It's nothing like the power of the mind. And when your mind is open to improvement, to changes, that's when you become even greater in life. The quote was said one time, knowledge is power. And the more open your mind is, and the more knowledge you can fill your mind with, the more powerful you become. If you're gonna get a coach in your life or a mentor in your life, make sure you get one that's gonna challenge your thinking, help you to expand your mind and renew it in some places so that you can go to places you've never been before. Life is a journey, and we all on this journey exploring for all of the great things that are set before us. But however, a lot of times you can't enjoy the new without giving up the old, without having your mind renewed. And there's nothing more powerful than a changed mind. Because when your mind is changed, then you're open to all of the things that come with the level that you exist at. It's kind of like there may be some things you can't do in your body. But maybe you open your mind to say, well, I'm going to go train, work out, do some things different. Maybe I never lifted weights before, but I'm open my mind to lifting weights. Not everybody trying to be big and muscular, but weights can give you strength and endurance. But I'm telling you, once you break past that barrier, you find your body can do things you didn't even know it could do. You find that you got more energy, need less sleep, can strive for different things. But none of that begins unless the mind is changed. So my coaching tip on tonight is be open to change. Be open to changing your mind. Be open to exploring new things, striving for better things. But you'll never make it to the next level if you don't leave the old level mind behind. You'll never get there. A lot of people say, well, it's good to have experience. Experience teach you one thing, to keep improving, to keep striving, to do better. Experience teach you that you can't rest on your last success, but you got to keep striving, because there's always somebody behind you striving for the same thing. And if you don't have the ability to change, you will never be able to experience the great things. So maybe you need to put it on your whiteboard at home. You know, they call the whiteboard the vision board. Maybe you need to put on that whiteboard or vision board, be open to change my mind. Be open to new thinking. The same Romans I quoted 12 says, be not conformed. Conform means don't be ready to be set in a mold all of the time, but be transformed, be moved from one place to the next by the renewing of your mind. I can honestly say to you that one of my greatest blessings was learning when I had to think differently if I want to go different places. Now a lot of people say, you look like you changing. How can you move if you don't change? How can you do better if you don't change? So it's time to open up your mind to change and move on, because there are bigger and better things waiting on you. There's no power like the power of having an open mind that is ready for change. Don't think change is bad. Change is good. Change is consistent. Because you can see every year you celebrate a birthday, something changed. Whether you like it or not, it is changing. Something that you could do last year, you can't do this year, or you got to do it a different way. Things are changing. Change is consistent, and it's not a bad thing. Change helps us to reach the level that we need to reach, and that's what I want to encourage you to do in this coaching session on today. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. I certainly got to change mine on today. I trust that you were blessed and you're going to begin to put some of that in action. Now, the coaching is no good unless you put it in action yourself so that you can experience the great things that are in store for you. I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering today for the support of Action Coaching. Help us to continue to coach others by bringing Action Coaching into many more homes. We need your financial support, and we need you to sow a generous offering on today. No seed is too large or too small. Every one of them help. But I want you to sit down and let God speak to your heart and give, because Action Coaching has been of value to you. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto the ministry. And certainly I'm going to be praying for each and every one of you that help support Action Coaching, that God continue to support your life in the same way. Once again, there's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching. Thank you for your support. Thank you for praying for us. Thank you for sharing with others about Action Coaching. Well, as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you. Share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.